Moon Girl. This is probably the most unusual Dark Horse reprint they brought out for the EC Archives. It's part of a series of EC Archives, all the other ones, Weird Fantasy, etc. This one, however, you'll see a bit of a difference when I show you later. 362 pages. The book's $59.99. I paid about £33 in the UK. And hardback, let's just go through it. I think it's a real lovely quality book. And there's a lot of extras as well, which is really nice. I love a good old extra. Something that is not always included in the others, I think. So obviously there's Moon Girl. And the title did change a lot. You got here Moon Girl and the Prince. You got Moon Girl Fights Crime. So the story sort of went all over the place. Sort of feels like, well, Wonder Woman, Superman, all those sort of characters. But instead, well, actually, probably more like Green Lantern, as she's got this little pearl or whatever. And it's just a thing that gives her the powers there to virtually be doing anything. She's superhuman, she can do this. And at other times, she seems to have a problem. She has to sort of mention something because she can get knocked out. It's not like she's superpowered, completely invulnerable. Most of the time. Here's the contents, and you've got 8 issues plus other ones where she appeared. So there are a few other stories that turned up in other magazines, and they put those in as well. Also, you've got these ones, these pre-trend, because this is a pre-trend, 1947, 48, 49, etc. A few things got here, like the Gunfighter, International Crime Patrol, those sort of ones. Now, I wonder if Fantagraphics would bring this book out as well. That'd be interesting to see if they bring this volume out as well in black and white. Obviously, as I mentioned, the colour is slightly different from all the other ones, where they've, of course, done a major recolorization of the books. And you've got this more introduction, which I think's really good. But let's just get on to the actual story. The actual stories here. Now, it does include the covers, which I think are lovely done. They're really done well. Really like that. Also, you've got this as well, which I think is great. They put the adverts. I love seeing adverts and these sort of things. I wish they would include that in all books when they do that. Why not? Unless there's some real particular reason, licensing, etc. Who knows? And you've got that. This absolutely amazing set of stories. Now, I thought all the pages looked pretty impressive. So they obviously got some really high quality copies of Moon Girl and the Prince. They've scanned them. I just think that they've really scanned them really well. And I would have loved to have seen all of the various EC archives done in exactly the same format. Now, of course, they haven't, and I suspect they never will, but it would have been so, so nice. And likewise, the DC ones, Golden Age ones, all the Golden Age. Now, the 1970s, 1960s, I can understand being done, sort of cleaned up, etc. But these, why? Why not just print them as is? I just think it's just great. They look superb. The quality looks absolutely fine. You can read it, just flows. The stories are great. You've got some lovely bits where she's fighting very spirit. People turn around and say, oh, she's just a woman. She's never. And then, of course, they find out because, of course, of her powers, she can do various things. Actually, near enough anything she wants to do. So it is very much like a Green Lantern, or possibly some of the characters we had in UK comics and international comics. Maybe they could bring that one out. Maybe that's already available because it was part of Crime Patrol. I don't know. But you got here, actually, the artwork does change occasionally. I just think that most of it's Sheldon Moldoff, most of the artwork. But you've got some that maybe it's just a different inker. I don't know. It just changes slightly every once in a while. But I just think it's just beautiful. And I think they've done a great job with this. Just I love. Now the border around it, people might sort of moan about it. Maybe they could have extended it all the way to the border. But of course, they didn't. And what we got obviously that white border all the way around. but I find it fine. And also, the great thing about it, the bottom includes Moon Girl 2, Winter 1947-1948, so it does include the information about where it comes from. And that is always a big thing for me. I just find that it's annoying when you go through the pages, you have to turn back to the front and find out certain things. Even better would have been if they included the artist name and the writer, if available. But the stories go all over the place. There's lovely ones where she's sort of captured by a harem somewhere. This guy here. There's a lot of hypnosis stories as well. Various characters get hypnotised. But she's got here, touch of magic moonstone. Oh, yes, I said pearl. The moonstone strength surges into Moon Girl. So that's just a lovely feature there. I suppose Moon Knight. I guess there's a similar. And she features me, very Cyclops character. I think that's really good as well. Obviously, now the Cyclops character one time looks pretty big. Now he's handling some cars, and the next minute you can see him sort of battling away with Moon Girl. The portion's slightly different there, but still, there's one scene here where she's nearly drowned because, of course, the moonstone, or I said pearl, slightly goes over. So she does need to give my fingers strength, and then, of course, she doesn't get enough time to sort of focus that energy to sort of keep her alive. She's knocked out, and of course, luckily for the story, otherwise that will be it. And also, it got these adverts as well, which is really great. I love these ones, the buy ones. I suspect we will never see these in these volumes. I would love to see it, but I doubt if there would be any money in it. The only one that I would really truly think, maybe, hopefully, because they're beautiful stories, if they did it like this, The Land of the Lost. That's just a great set of stories. I have seen those in a different format, and they're brilliant. And you can see here, she's battling some. Oh, I'm Centurion, over 1,000 years old. 1,000? Or maybe that's why he struggles. And of course, your sword must be brittle old as well. It's very brittle. Does that happen? I suppose it is. Yes, very rusty, maybe. But anyway, also we get a character called Star. You got Starlet. There she talk about Star. There she is. However, next one, I think she's called Starlet. Lady Luna. She's called there. But we've also got, of course, this character called Prince. We've also got other, obviously, interests as well in this story. But you've got this character here, Opium mentioned there, and Moon Girl and the Prince. And I say more adverts, which I think is just great. Moon Girl, a Western. I guess this was probably, yes, weirdly, Gunfighter. So obviously they thought, you know what, we'll put it in Gunfighter because it's a Western. Don't ask me about the time on this, but still, she's obviously gone to a Western town. Very strange. The artwork, of course, like I say, sometimes does change depending on the artist there. Happy Hooligans as well. War Against Crime, Dandy Comics, those sort of ones. Just great. Maybe they could bring out a collection. They don't, maybe not the full set, because maybe that just would not sell, but maybe a pre-trend volume, possibly. Just call it the complete, no, just call it pre-trend, volume 1. And then, of course, if it does well, they could bring out a volume 2, couldn't they? That's the easy workaround on that one. They don't have to bring it out, of course. But, oh, it's got some Al Feldstein. I think that's just lovely. A Moon Girl love story there. This one's I Was a Heart Pirate there. I love good old Al Feldstein's artwork. It always identifies straight away. You can see his style. Oh, I love the advert there. You've got all the stuff. Really great. Lifelike rubber masks and so on. And also in here, there's some lovely pages, artwork pages, inked pages, not the... Now, of course, when I'm going through it, I can never find them. But there are some lovely inked pages here, like covers and things, colour guides, etc., which I think are absolutely lovely to see. This is scanned and digitally restored. But personally, no. If there is restoration, it's minimal. because you can really see it really looks, to my eyes anyway, and maybe obviously I'm not an expert at this, maybe it isn't, but to my eyes it just looks like a really nice quality comic, cleaned up a bit maybe, but most times you can just, the artwork looks decent, it's not super sharp. Meet the artist Sheldon Moldoff as well, but it's good. Actually, excellent. Probably my favourite EC Archives. I've been reading them this morning, and also last night as well. I was reading them in bed, thinking, you know what a lovely little series this was. Moon Girl, the complete Moon Girl. So, are you going to pick this up? It's obviously probably not for everyone, but I think it's a nice sort of rounding off a series when they introduce also the pre-trend ones, because obviously they've done all of the things like Extra, and they've done the illustrated, the Confessions and all those sort of ones, as well as, of course, all the classic ones. And at the back, actually, there is a little advert. Let's just quickly go to the back. Always the way you can never find this. Look out for more EC Archives in 2025. And it's got a listing there. And they mainly seem to be paperbacks. So I don't know how many more of the other ones are left to do. Perhaps they've done them all. I don't know. Two Fisted Tales here, coming out in October 2025. But it would be great if they brought out another couple of the pre-train ones. As I said, a volume 1, volume 2, just to get around an issue of, so it doesn't have to be complete. Because perhaps it will be not the world's greatest seller. I hope this does well, because I think this is a lovely volume. So thoughts about this, please let me know in the comments, as ever. Bye.